Former acting U.S. Attorney General Matt Whitaker is here. He says that the Biden administration is all politics when it comes to the border. So you agree with Representative Flores there. I mean, she really makes the point that the Biden administration doesn't care about the humanitarian crisis, the danger that these people face as they're trying to cross the border, Matt. They don't even care necessarily what happens to them when they come into this country, as long as they're dispersed across the country and they vote blue in the future.
Yeah, good to be with you, Jackie. And what I see is, the two most effective tools that the Trump administration had implemented, Title 42 and the Remain in Mexico policy, this administration is trying to roll back and eliminate. As soon as New York City and the Washington, D.C. area received a few busloads of these illegal immigrants to their jurisdictions, they tried to call in the National Guard and ask for more money from Congress. And so, it is not only is it purely a political issue. There's no plan. This is putting lives in danger. We've seen, immigrants die in the backs of, refrigerated vans that the refrigeration units went out. And it's chaos on our southern border. And yet this administration doesn't appear to have any interest. We had 222,000 people enter illegally into our country in May or June, and then in July it was 170,000. We're on pace for over 2 million people to come in illegally through our southern border.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not necessarily sure that Eric Adams and Muriel Bowser really are opposed to exactly what's happening. They're certainly not going down to the southern border to take a look and actually see firsthand the problems there. It sounds to me when they ask for help, a lot of this is about funding, as you mentioned.
It is. And, the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, invited the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, to visit the border. Eric Adams declined, saying that was just a photo opportunity. I mean, that's not what it is. It is seeing how unregulated the flow of people and illegal drugs is. And it's made the cartels more powerful, wealthier, and I think it's going to be a problem for years to come as we try to get control eventually of this border.
Why do you think it is that Kamala Harris, she may have the same agenda that the president has. Obviously, they're on the same page and the same team, but she's the border czar, right? And she really hasn't done much of anything since these two have come into office. And so I'm wondering, why can't she attack the dangerous parts of this? If you're pro-illegal immigration, that's one thing. But what about the drugs coming across? What about the human trafficking? Why aren't they worried about some of these really, really dangerous aspects of what's coming over the border and how it's impacting Americans in this country?
Yeah, the only way to enforce the laws at the southern border is to crack down on illegal immigration, because drugs and trafficking of human beings is completely related to the flow of individuals across the southern border. I mean, I've heard so many reports, and so many people that have a heart to solve this problem have offered solutions, but instead it is just a humanitarian catastrophe orchestrated by these Biden policies and with no plan. And that's right. The most difficult thing. Is, to your point, Jackie, why don't they tell us why they're doing this? Because there is no plan. It just seems to me that they want to encourage as many people to come here as soon as possible. And
I think what you're saying essentially is that the people that are coming across are the vehicle. And so you can't stop one piece of it without shutting down the whole operation. And that's certainly something that they're not going to do. So then they turn a blind eye to the really nasty parts of what's happening down there. And quietly in Arizona, they say, well, maybe we'll finish a piece of wall here or there. Matt Whitaker, great to see you this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Jackie. Thank you.